Ooh, starting the pod different. Yo, G, you ready?
Everything.
You can G shit don't even sound like what Kyle, what are you doing? What Yo, hold on. First off, he fucked up my intro. I said, G, are you ready? G's like, yeah, I'm ready, Brandon. Like, you're not even supposed to call me my real name. Like anytime Meek does it, be like, yo, Cruz, you ready? Like, Cruz don't even respond. Like, he just know. Like, Parks on the boards. Like, Parks just go. Like, you're not supposed to say, yes, Brandon Hall, I'm ready. Like, you're not supposed to do that, G. So let's just work. Let's just work on that, G, and then we could get to a different level of just popping collars. Grassroots Podcast, thank you guys for joining. As always, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button to be notified of the latest to the greatest episodes. It's going to be a good episode today. I think I'm feeling positive. I think we have some good stuff to talk about. I'm one of the hosts. I'm Brandon Killabh.
Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm Grimace.
Stupid.
I'm Wilson.
And our guest today, we have a thing too. Also,
Okay.
you got to introduce yourself.
How you gonna cut her off
So,
and then push her?
I'm trying to give direction. I'm working on that intro.
I'm following. I'm Aishia Deal, and I host a podcast called Shit Women Think About.
Hey, now hold on. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
This is why. So hold on.
I've been trying to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. So let me start off by saying, me and her have been, I want to say friends, air quote friends, for quite some time, appreciating each other's content. Only our content, people. I know we're both good-looking people, but it's just the content. But
fair enough.
In that journey,
It's debatable for you.
Damn, that's fucked up. In this journey, though,
Where'd that shot come from?
okay, all right, I see what's happening. No, go ahead, come on. I see the guns are out. Come on. I see what's happening. Come on. Everyone, get it out. Come on. G, you good? Everyone good? Everyone?
I was trying to think of a good one.
I know you are. You were quiet. But no, in all seriousness, in discovering, we had this common thing of being creative. Obviously, you bounce ideas off. You talk. One thing led to another. We somehow managed to meet each other, and we had an interesting conversation around like clout chasing. What does that look like? Is clout chasing a thing? And if it is a thing, what is it? So it went from that to, and I thought it tied in good with this topic of just what's acceptable and what's not. What are the things that people put aside because it's a man versus what is it versus putting it for women rather. And then even with that, with the topic that we're covering today, just with double standards, obviously fresh off of Scarlett Johansson's comments. For those that don't know, Scarlett Johansson went on. I wouldn't say a rant, but she made some statements about just equality and saying that pretty much women or just people should be able to play roles whatever they want. It could be a dog, it could be a fish, it could be whatever. It shouldn't matter what role you're playing as long as you're given, I guess, the opportunity or the chance to play it. It shouldn't matter. So I want to start there and then go there. So first, thank you for coming on, obviously.
Thank you for having me.
Two, what do y'all think? Do y'all think, I want to first start off and get the definitions. What do you think Mixxy is? Don't give me yours because we already had this conversation. What do you think Mixxy is?
What is?
Yeah, what's Mixxy?
What?
He doesn't know what Mixxy is.
I forgot.
Come on, you're talking in dots.
I know. My bad.
Wait, I gotta hear
you know
Wayne.
what? For a split second, I thought that he was in the know. For a split second, I said, all right, Nas got this. Mixxy, I don't. Do you mean the bowl, like to mix pancakes? No, nigga, I'm talking about Mixxy. Like,
Mixxy's when people go out to like events and they're all chummy.
Okay.
And they're fake.
All right.
I hate that shit.
Well,
Wow.
Well, fake is a little.
Fake chummy.
I can see fake.
Fake chummy.
I see what you're saying. E, what do you got?
Mixxy. Okay, so this is a quick question. Mixxy in terms of is it a verb or Mixxy in terms of it's a like Mixxy in terms of business or Mixxy in terms of like you're going out to an event and you're actually being Mixxy like
Yeah, so that was literally what I said.
Because there's Mixxy
That's so funny.
business and there's being Mixxy
Yeah.
and like
Number one, me and you are so in tune. It's a great. It's crazy.
What I'm
That
saying,
literally
what?
the same thing that you said. I said that to them yesterday. I said, what is the situation?
What was
so here's the situation. I'm gonna lay it out to you guys. So the example I gave was, let's say you're walking or whatever, you're going to an event, a club. Let's say this is a club. We come to the club, and I know all of y'all. Hey, what's up? Hey, you good? Yo, let's get up. Lunch. Yo, let's work. We never connect. Like you
thirsty.
Yeah, you just in everyone's faces, and you're just now. But is there? Because I thought about this on the way home. Number one, is there a thin line with that? Is there a thin line between being mixy and being business? Because me and you do that. I thought about me and you go and we'll go just to network or just to show face or just to support. But that's it. We're not going to chill. We're not going to drink or even get fucked up. Mm-hmm. So is there a thin line, number one? And two, is there a double standard with it? Are men more acceptable or you can accept it from a man versus a woman? This is gonna be a good one today, you motherfuckers. Let me tell you, this is gonna be great. Yeah, listen, take your drinks. Listen, let's go.
I will say that it's more complex than what you're saying.
Help me understand.
I say that it's more complex in terms. Okay, let's start off with one part where you said like, is it more acceptable for a man to be like, hey, let's do it versus a woman?
All right, well, hold on. Let's start here because I want to go there. First off,
okay, man.
I know. I'm sorry.
You give me a broad thing, and I'm trying to narrow it, and then you go and switch it up.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to. I want to give the fans.
Brandon.
I just want to give the fans some clarity. I just want to first know, do you guys deem Mixxy to be a bad thing? Let's say we're going for the purpose of business, or
he's throwing a lot at you.
Or let's just say you shaking hands. So that's why I wanted to do that.
I'm saving mine for the end.
I know you are. I know you are.
5 times, square times,
I know.
3 times, 11. Tell me what that is, and then what temperature is it outside?
Round up.
I mean, if it's business, it's networking.
Okay.
But when you use the term mixy, like that more so implies like someone's not genuine with as they rub elbows.
This is Hollywood talk.
This is exactly Hollywood talk. For those that don't know, who haven't seen that episode that we did, this is classic Varnell Hill. Let's do lunch. You can come on my show and you can kick it. You get to LA, and he said it's just TV, man.
It's Hollywood talk.
Hollywood talk.
I would say
Snooki, do work.
I would say one of the things too is that sometimes networking can be perceived as mixy because people don't know how to properly network. I think that, especially when it comes to networking or even pitching, right? People think that networking is solely for the purpose of for them to gain something, when network should be what is mutually beneficial.
Okay.
You yourself, every time you meet someone new, you are literally pitching yourself to that person.
Agreed.
And how they reciprocate is them pitching themselves to you.
Agreed.
A lot of times when people are networking, they're networking for the purpose of, what can that person do for me? What can that person do for me? I think that is mixy, where it's in the sense of like, you're clearly going with the intention of something, you getting a value proposition yourself.
Gotcha.
Networking, though, is a little bit different. There are ways to go about it. Like, for example, if you just meet someone, right, you shouldn't be asking them for 5,000 things the first time you meet them.
Yeah.
And there's protocol and there's also standards. Now, there are also double standards, though, where I think that sometimes those rules can be bent a little bit in the sense of, like, men, I think it's a little more, I'm not gonna say difficult, but I would say it looks weirder if a man is very straightforward in terms of what he wants. But I think women are allowed to be more straightforward because then you clear any sense of, this is not sexual, I don't want to sleep with you, this is what it is, and these are my intentions. I think women are allowed to be a little more straightforward, and we should be a little more straightforward because men take things sometimes the wrong way. And not to say that women don't, there are some women who do, but most situations when it comes to networking, you hear a lot more times where the man's trying to sleep with the woman. And there are times where women try to sleep with the man, but more often you hear that the man is just trying to help the woman because they're trying to sleep. So I do think that women are allowed to be a little more straightforward than men, and it can come across as mixy, but it's like you have to kind of set the standards moving forward. Like, I'm not trying to sleep with you. This is business. Just keeping it straightforward. But I think sometimes when men do it, it comes off a little bit weird.
Okay. Now, with that said, you see how you said it's a little bit more acceptable. When is it not acceptable for a man just in meeting you? Like if I'm out again, we're on the scene, You're important. You're someone. I don't know who you are, but you're someone.
Erin Ashley Simon, motherfucker.
My man. My man.
My fault.
I get it. Y'all a tag team today.
She got the blue
My
check.
best friend.
No, but I want to know, like, in meeting someone, there is, I guess, a preconceived notion. Like, you see how you said, women have a tendency, especially professional women, they have a tendency to say when they go meet someone, it's, all right, here's the line, I'm only talking about business. Do you think when men step to women like that, you have that sense of, oh, no, I'm not trying to talk to you, when the man could legitimately be just coming to talk to you about business, but because you have this, you've already built this moment up, seeing him walk over and seeing him come over, you've already, oh, he's coming to talk to me, he's coming to talk to me. Do you think that a lot of times people misconstrue Mixxy, networking, or just trying to meet someone, and what happens in between all of that?
I was gonna say, I think men blur those lines. I think. Because
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Because as women, we meet. I feel like maybe you can agree. When I meet someone, I never assume that a man is approaching me to sleep with me or to date me. I don't just go off the top with that. So if a man says, like, I want to talk to you, can I get your information? I want to talk to you about business. I'm taking him at his word. The problem is that 98% of the time, that's not what they want.
Gotcha.
So it's like now I naturally have that guard up because I'm like, does anybody want to talk about business?
And that's where you get the, this is
no.
what it is. Don't step over this line.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Now, here's the question, though. Does the setting, attire, and circumstances matter?
Absolutely.
Are we adding social media to this? Because I feel like that has to be factored in too.
We can add that too. We
Yeah.
can add that too.
Wait,
Okay.
add context to that.
Meaning,
Here,
meaning, how can I? Well, go ahead. I'm
no,
trying.
I was gonna say, I have a friend. She was an aspiring rapper or whatever, and some dude from a label. She was supposed to have a meeting with him. So basically, he hits her up and he's like, "Oh, I'm real tired from the flight. I just want to, hang out at the hotel." She was like, "Okay." He was like, you can come here." She was like, "Okay, do they have like a bar area or whatever?" He was like, "They do, but I just want to stay in my room and watch the game. You can come here." And she was like, "Nah," so she didn't go. You know what I'm saying? So the place does matter, right?
Yeah, that's a red flag right there.
A
When
lot
you're like,
of red
very
flags.
creepy.
that's red flag. There's certain things that
If
you should not, but there are certain things that if you just meet someone, you shouldn't do. Like, for example, you shouldn't, if you're just meeting someone, don't say you want to have business at dinner.
After a certain hour.
After a
either.
certain hour.
Yeah.
that was gonna be my next question.
don't-
Does the hour matter?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
But even now, hold on, because I thought about this. I really, really thought about this. In the business that we work in, we're all in entertainment, like or love it, whatever. We're in entertainment, right? Our hours don't really stop. There's no set hour.
I'm not meeting you for a meeting at 10:30 at
But
night.
you
I'm
would-
not meeting you
but-
after 9.
Why not though?
Because it's just, to me, it's like there's certain hours where things, it gets blurred. Those lines get blurred. Like, let's keep it, 9, and that's pushing it for me. I'd rather do afternoon meetings. That's my thing.
And also, devil's advocate, right? If it is after hours and you're a guy, you shouldn't be picking the location. She should be picking the location.
Okay,
if it's,
but
like, if it's like, for example,
let's say you're in my city. And
What if he's a
I wanna-
bigwig?
Or that's what I'm saying. Let's say you're in my city. I want to accommodate. I know people. I'm in the mix. I'm Mixxy. Let's say I'm Mixxy. I'm Mixxy, and I know where it's at. Yo, E, let's go talk. Let's go grab a drink. Let's go talk business.
this is my thing. If I don't have another friend tell me, oh, he's good peeps or something, I'm not meeting you after 10 p.m.
Okay.
Because if you really want to do business with me and you really want me for something for business, you will respect the fact that you can meet with me later on. Like, I'm not like us women, just because you're a bigwig don't mean that you can't be a killer or a psychopath
really.
or a rapist or
That's very true.
we can't and you can't just trust someone's word. You really can't. And so I think that like there are certain I wouldn't say standards, but there's certain things that universally like is acceptable and not acceptable. Point blank and period.
Yeah.
Now, if I get to know you and I really like, for example, like Brandon, when I first met you, I was like, I don't really know this dude. and they asked me to go do a trip to Detroit.
Yeah.
This sounds a little bit weird. I can't lie. I definitely said 3
Brandon
dudes
does
and
have
myself.
that
First meeting?
In all fairness, when I played it back, that was a little weird.
It's weird. It's a little weird.
Took a lot for you to get in that truck.
But we thugged that motherfucker out, though. We thugged it out, though.
Yeah, it took a lot for you to get in that truck.
It did, but I also
No, it didn't. She knew.
She
No,
just met you. She didn't know me. She didn't know Wilson.
But, all right, if knowing nothing.
I also talked to family who are cops, so.
But even if knowing nothing, I carried myself. I never gave you an inkling. Is that a word?
Inclination?
Inclination. Thank you. Inclination that I was trying to holler. I just came very professional. And plus, we already had a mutual thing. But let's say we didn't have a mutual thing, right? Regardless, I never gave you the creep vibe of, yo, trying to go to Detroit.
Yeah, but.
Most psycho killers don't.
Trying to take this
Also
road
not of
trip.
that caliber, though. A lot of people, I feel like, hide behind their titles, and they feel like, especially with women, they feel like because they are who they are, we're supposed to be excited that they want to meet with us. We're supposed to bend over backwards to accommodate them. And the reality is that it's disappointing because some of the biggest names are really still just after sex.
Yeah.
That's it. It's hard to find men that want to do genuine business with women. It's very hard. Like, I've learned to, I have to have a go-between. I have to literally have a go-between. I don't care if I have on a turtleneck and jeans with a blazer it doesn't matter. They're still going to find a way to take it left. They're still going to find a way to send a text and ask to go to dinner, and not on any business shit, but on some, okay, now I had a meeting with her. Now I'm going to send her a text about getting together and let's go have dinner. And it's not business related. So it's I feel like I have to have a male go-between.
Yeah, it's like.
That's so interesting.
It's kind of like
It's unfortunate.
Here, this is a really cool way, right?
Just real quick, men don't think like this. Just so y'all know, I love talking to them. Men aren't thinking like if you were to come over to talk to me, I'm not thinking like she's trying to holla. That's
Yeah,
why I think
yeah.
this is so interesting to me.
But most men are thinking about sex
Always.
with that person.
Not well.
Thinking about it.
Even if it's initially. It could
Yeah.
even just be initially, just in that moment. I feel like it's just most men in that moment, are going to go, okay, she's attractive.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, she's smart. I like her business mind. And then it can go down another road. But
It's how we're wired.
I'll agree with you. I was about to say, you just took the word right out of my mouth. I think everyone is programmed that way, and maybe not everyone, but
Yeah.
y'all know what I mean. The majority of people are programmed in thinking, okay, she's attractive, he's attractive. I think naturally you play out things in your head. I don't know if that's a.
I don't naturally play out things in my head.
Oh yes, you do. It don't have to be sexual. Yes, you do. You 100%.
But I mean, I don't, not just because someone's attractive, but that's a different conversation. Because we're women and we're not just like, oh, he's attractive, I can see him bending me over. We don't work that way. It doesn't connect that way.
Maybe you don't, but your pain point could be something else. Maybe it's conversation.
It's conversation intellectual. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It could be something different. Everyone has a different thing that draws them in. It's just what it is. But I just find it fascinating that guys, a lot of times, at least for me, when people come up to me, it's not you trying to holler.
It must be nice.
Listen,
It must be nice.
and also
That's
this,
only recently because I started smiling. People started thinking everyone thought I was an
also
asshole.
Brandon, you forget too. You only say that it's a man and woman situation. I've been in situations where there's women that are trying to.
Well,
Who, the
It's a
predators?
little more complex.
And they're
that's
much
true.
more
And-
aggressive.
Yeah,
That's
there's
true.
there's some that are aggressive, but there are also some that are subtle about it. And then if finally you're like, wait a second.
So talk to me about the subtle moments. What are the
With
subtle
women-
moments?
Hold on real quick. Hold on.
Not adding up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Real
the
quick.
compliments start to get real weird.
I wanted to say what Brad when you said men don't think like that, and it's
Not you.
no. I'm just saying men. We're not always on the.
nasty.
We're not on the defensive.
Everyone knows how he gives it up. You know how you give it up. It's fine. We got it.
Wow.
it. Like,
No, we're not.
as soon as the woman walks off, the nigga dies like, oh man.
Men are not.
Get out of this shit. I can't wait to destroy her.
Chill. I don't think that.
All right, go now. Let's go.
Men are not on the defensive.
Okay.
So we like.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Good
So
point.
we don't. Of course, we're not wired like that. Now, if
Hold on.
we-
So just for the fans, you're saying men normally have their guard down in these types of settings. They're not. They don't really think like that. Whereas women, naturally, because of circumstances,
We're the prey.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah.
prey. So
Men
then-
are hunters.
it's different from
Women
men.
are
And
nurturers.
it's different from
and,
men.
and that's why
rolling.
some men get aggressive if we're in, let's say, certain neighborhoods in Manhattan.
a bagel place.
No, not a bagel place.
I'm asking a question.
Certain neighborhoods in Manhattan where men have to be on the defensive because there might be other men
Well, yeah, that's different. Sharks is in the water at that point. Sharks in the water.
'Cause-
But that's the entertainment industry in general.
Well, yeah.
Like
But-
it's not like as black and white as we say.
But I would go as far as to say it's in blue collar corporate America. I see it every day where people compete. Like, yo,
That's true.
Jan didn't do what she's supposed to do on those reports, so I don't know if you want to handle that.
No, I'm saying coming from different. How do I word this?
Spectrums.
Coming from different individuals. Because think about it, the entertainment industry overall is there's pros because we're more accepting when it comes to different lifestyles, but then also there's this con where it's like every community has shitty ass people,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's straight person, we got shitty people. Whether it's bisexual, we got shitty people. Gay, etc. So, because the entertainment industry is so open and people are able to be themselves, you're gonna have people that approach you from different communities.
I agree.
It's
a lot- it's a lot
naturally
more-
inappropriate. To me, entertainment is just naturally inappropriate. There's a lot of inappropriate behavior that takes place.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Well, I think naturally, but you also got to look at the people that are in entertainment. A lot of people
where they
don't
come from.
Yeah, they don't come
Yeah.
from good beginnings. They don't have business ethics. They don't know how.
It's
no
true.
background checks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, in a
credit score
nutshell. In a
checks.
nutshell, like,
Yeah.
so that comes with the business.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how do you separate it? Like, when does that dynamic change? Just because I feel like it's a cycle.
Men would have to change.
That's where it would have to start.
You know?
Tell me why. Tell me why. I'm
I mean, men would have to change.
Yeah.
And it's not something that men really go through. Like, because if women were the predators, men would definitely throw dick to get ahead
I agree with
in
you.
a heartbeat.
But
Like
Yeah.
if I had to get this podcast to the top,
You fucking.
and there was a woman
Yeah.
Listen,
that needed me to throw some
a
dick,
man would be a thought in a minute.
I got
Look
y'all.
for opportunities to be
Listen,
thoughts.
I got y'all.
Drop them drawers.
Facts.
I see where your head's at. Pause. I see where your head's at. I like it. I like it.
Yo, I'm pulling up in Brandon's outfit. That's a male thought outfit, by the way.
Relax.
That's a male thought outfit right there.
Relax,
No,
relax.
it is.
Hold on. First off,
It is.
First off, I'm drip. All right, I'm drip.
You just need a pair of
That's that
sandals.
I had sandals on yesterday.
I know.
I had my feet done.
I know.
I can feel it.
It was the sandals.
I know the
kind.
vibe.
Without socks.
Yeah, always without the socks. Always.
Always without the socks.
the
Disgusting.
That's funny.
Come on, man. Have
What do
some
you mean
dignity.
disgusting? You wear socks with sandals?
I do.
You look
That's
like you got
just-
ugly feet though.
Men-
I
men's feet
definitely
shouldn't be out.
don't.
Huh?
I definitely
We've
don't.
gone over this.
What?
A man's feet shouldn't be out. Unless you're in water.
You agree?
No, I disagree. I mean, I live in California. If it's hot.
Well, y'all
You can
are
flip-flop.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, yeah.
In New York City,
It's too dirty.
yeah, you shouldn't have your.
But in this case, we were in a very nice area and it wasn't dirty.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I thought it was.
You talking about a
cool.
place where they
Have your
wear
fucking
Timbs in the
Bronx feet out.
summertime?
No.
Construction Timbs.
No. I'm just saying, just in general. I don't think, but whatever. But all right. I guess as I digress. But what do you guys think? I guess back to the main topic of Scarlett Johansson and her stance on people should be able to play whatever role they want, and there shouldn't be a fuss about it. If I want to play someone that's black, I shouldn't be able to. If I want to play a gay person, it shouldn't be an issue.
Hold on.
That's just
If
not
I
even
want
the
to
way
play
of the world. That's
transgender,
ridiculous.
but
So Christian Bale's gonna play Obama?
if he wants to,
He'll probably kill that shit.
I think he would kill it. What are you talking about,
I
America?
think,
I'll take
Meryl
that.
Streep is Harriet Tubman now?
Dye her hair a little bit.
I think what Scarlett Johansson
don't
is
think it's a hard
not
sell.
understanding is she's not understanding her privilege, and she's not understanding the historic, historically how the entertainment industry has been.
Yeah.
It's been always where a white individual will get a role or play a role. We've seen people who, was it Tom Cruise in that movie with the samurai? And he's not
Oh,
even.
The Last Samurai. Yeah,
Yeah.
Last Samurai.
So I think that
You mean the Mexican?
great, like
But he
if
was playing a
you
white
need to
dude.
relax.
The
You need to relax.
First of all, the Mexican.
You need to relax. You need to relax.
The Mexican.
A Mexican community. He said it. His name is Nasty.
The
Nas.
Mexican starring Brad Pitt. That's a real movie.
Listen, context is important. You just start.
What
yelling.
I
cut me
would
off.
say,
You just start yelling out randomly.
What I
The
would
Mexican.
say though, is if we historically if everyone had the opportunities to get roles,
Okay.
I would understand what she said. If
Yeah.
it was an equal playing field for everyone, but it's not.
It's like, hello, blackface, right? I mean, like, back in the day, like, white people did play all the roles. So it's like, come on, like, why would you even say that as a white woman? Like, you know how far we've come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more of a slap in the face to black and brown
Now,
people.
and
You
again,
want our roles.
I agree, but let me, just because I love to play devil's advocate,
Yo, we do a lot of advocating for the devil on this podcast.
Enough.
we do.
The
we
Devil's
do.
Podcast.
Because there's people that think differently.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what it is? I like to have a clear view of the landscape. I always like to put myself in the situation and the other situation, and then also just try to see both sides. And to E's point, there are people out there that will fight for whatever it is that we go against. Morally, I can pick this apart, but because we have a show, I want to fight for it.
Well, I think
So-
she's referring to last year when she got
She
got
is.
killed for playing.
Yeah.
Who did she play?
She wanted to play a trans man, I think.
Yeah, it's a trans.
What's the problem with that?
And the trans community killed her because they wanted a trans person.
They wanted someone
play.
of their culture to represent.
And it would have made sense.
It would have made sense, but only thing I'm saying
Yeah.
is,
Well, Ghost in the Shell, she was supposed to be Korean, right?
I think she's been like
come
a
on.
repeated offender.
yeah.
Also,
What else has she done?
Ghost
the
in the,
Ghost
Shell.
in the Shell.
What happened with Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell
character is
is
Korean.
Goodbye.
Why can't she
I'm
be
not
Korean?
doing this.
Why can't she be Korean?
She
Hold on,
is playing
how
whoever
come
she wants
can
to
be
play.
Korean, but Robert Downey Jr. can play the black person? He's a genius.
What, Tropic Thunder was funny as hell.
What about Idris Elba playing Americans?
That's actually not a bad thing.
Really?
Only just because of the James Bond thing. Anything else, that's acting. But James Bond, again, there was a whole big thing about that. They were like, "Yo,
Get his citizenship.
that whole." You remember that whole poll of?
Yeah.
It was rumored that he was supposed to come out and play
He
James
should've.
Bond. I think so.
He's rugged. He's handsome. He's built.
Yeah.
But why can Scarlett play an Asian woman
Overrated.
and he can't be James Bond?
But that's my thing.
It doesn't apply to black people. Let's just say it's only for
yeah.
white people want to play black, Asians, Hispanics. They want to be dogs and cats. But black
be
people, we have to
dogs
stick to be, and they want to take our role.
Yeah.
They want to eliminate us.
But that's
a
what I
fact.
said. If it was equal, like if historically the cinema has been equal, then I would have been like, okay, yeah, if it's equal and if trans people get the same opportunities equally,
Exactly.
if black people get the same opportunities equally, then I would have been completely fine with what she said. If
Right.
it was an equal playing field. But it's ignorant of her to not realize the privilege that she has and understand that historically and even now, it's not. It's getting a bit better, but that's because we are constantly like, okay, we're getting really fed up with it. And also it's like, with that too, I think that what she also has to understand is like, what I don't like about what she was saying too is that I'm sure she has seen or worked with other minority actors and actresses, right? And let's keep it real. Scarlett Johansson is not a great actress. Let's just keep it a
Just
buck,
saying.
right? But I think that like she's been around enough notable people to know that there is a problem. I think the way that she worded it was reeking of privilege.
I think that's what she
Okay.
meant.
And I
she
think
meant
that
it.
what
You say
she
you think
should
she
have.
meant
Yeah,
privilege?
she wants even more roles. Like she's like, well, why do I have to play a white woman? Why can't I play this or that? You know what I mean? Like to me, it sounds greedy. It sounds egotistical. It sounds selfish. I don't think she was operating from an inclusive place. I think it was more of a selfish
That's a
place.
good word. Okay, so let me just say this. What's to say that she wasn't making that statement to fight for everyone? Just equality across the board.
She said
Whoever,
I.
huh?
She said I.
It's very personalized.
I know she said I. I'm just saying.
saying.
I'm just saying. What if she didn't mean to say I?
Oh, come on. That is enough.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And let's say if she does say I. Okay, she says I. Maybe what she's saying is, me as a person, that same courtesy should be extended to everyone, where you should be able to play or do whatever you want in any role.
No, I think she was thinking like, damn, so I missed out on a big ass check because these motherfuckers hit Twitter up.
So wait. She did have a follow up. She did have a follow up in regarding to her recent comments. She said an interview that was recently published has been edited for clickbait and is widely taken out of context. She said the question I was answering in my conversation with the contemporary artist David
Beckham.
whatever,
Beckham.
was about the confrontation between political correctness and art. She clarified her stance, saying, I personally feel that in an ideal world, any actor should be able to play anybody, and art in all forms should be immune to political correctness. That is the point I was making, albeit didn't come across that way. Like I
She
said,
backpedaling
it's
like
the
a
word, she said, I.
I don't want no beef with you.
She said I.
Scarlett,
She's backpedaling. She meant what she said.
Scarlett, stand by that shit. Yo, y'all fucked up my check.
Respect that.
If I'm keeping it a buck, again, it's for devil's advocate. She's 100% backtracking. This is a clear-cut case of, yo, that shit went viral. You're getting killed, and now I got to say something to clean us up.
I need that Marvel check.
It's entitlement. It's entitlement. You've done all these Marvel movies. You're dead, and now you've wasted maybe 7 years. I can't say wasted, but you've been stuck character typed in one role with being Scarlet Witch in
Damn, you fucked that whole shit up. She's Black Widow.
I mean Black Widow. Sorry. In the Marvel movies, and now that character is gone. It's an uphill battle. So maybe this is a play for.
Well, she had a check in the bag last year. She was playing that trans man on Twitter.
How do you kill a woman for playing a man that wants to be a woman?
Yeah,
no, it was a woman who wants to be a man.
But even that, why? I don't understand why she. There's certain things that should be able to fly though.
Because there's prejudice in there, though. Like, you guys come on, you mean to tell me there's no good trans actors that could have played that role?
Sure, there are.
There's no big famous ones. When you're making a movie or whatever, you need to name.
But movies make people famous all the time. I mean, one year we know this, we don't know this person. Next year they have a big breakout role and they're a celebrity. I mean, like, why couldn't they take someone and make them a breakout celebrity? Why give it to her?
And also, if you need a big name, you can have the big name be the assisting role.
Yeah, she was coming off of.
She's coming off of
Marvel.
So
if I'm the company, I'm like,
when you're investing millions into something, you're not going to go with no name.
I'm not going off the chance of, yo, I'm going to pull Joe Small off the corner. If I have to choose between a genuine transgender person that can play this role or someone that has shown proof of being a good actress or actor and they're capable of doing it, and this is the sure bet, hey, guess what? I'm still going to represent y'all right, but I'm going with this one.
I also think you guys are underestimating the buying power of the LGBTQIA community.
No, not at all. What I'm saying is
they would have supported for sure.
Of course they would have. But what I'm saying is I don't think that they would not support depending on how that role is depicted. If she goes in there and really captures what it's like to be transgender, gay, or whatever the orientation is, I think that does a good job. It's the same way you think about Bohemian Rhapsody. You think about all these movies where people that are not gay are playing gay roles and they're trying to convey a certain culture.
So okay. So going off of what you said, if that's the case, she gets that role, right? Now I don't know what happened going on behind the scenes. None of us do, right?
Yeah.
But if she gets this role and she knows the power that she has, then say that you will do it. So as long as you get a trans actor to be a part of it as well with you,
I agree with that.
you can you like people have to use their privilege. Who is the actor who? Oh my God, it happened recently, but the
Benedict Cumberbatch.
The male actor that used his privilege to help get the one of the women actors more money.
Benedict Cumberbatch. That's his name.
Yeah. He understands his.
Hold on real quick. Why do you know that name?
Yeah, that was definitely. I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
You don't know what Mixxy is, but you know what Benedict Arnold is doing. Like, what do you like?
Benedict Arnold's a little different, but
that's a good example of someone who knows they have privilege, that they, that there is going to be situations where their privilege is going to be superseding other people's opportunities, but in that situation, he brings someone up with.
And shout out to Billy Ray Cyrus, 'cause that's what he did with Lil Nas.
I mean, money-wise,
he was already locked in for like 3 or 4 Marvel movies. He signed that contract and then said, "The next role I take, I want equal pay for the woman, my female co-star."
But that's better than
But even
nothing.
doing it, I was about to say, it's better to have that than not have nothing at all. I'd rather someone say, yo, we take the short right now, and then on the long haul, we'll be all right. You'll get a better role.
But what if it wasn't that deep, though, B? What if it wasn't like, oh, we're going to get Scarlett? What if it was just like, you know what? This is a trans movie, and we don't want it to be too trans, so we don't want to hire a trans actor. Let's just hire, whoever, a white, well-known actress or actor, and get that money so that, whatever, Middle America or, the evangelicals don't get too upset and don't support. Let's get an actress that's really not a trans actress to play it. That way we get the money from...
They're bugging.
How are they bugging?
Have you seen that show Pose?
Yeah.
You see how...
I watched Pose
I don't understand the problem.
Pose is popping, and they're getting money, and it's mostly trans.
Like they played it safe. I feel like they didn't want it to be too trans. And
so you think this was one of the safe things of, this may be too much for
we want to tell this story,
viewers.
But we don't want to isolate any of our fan base. So let's get this non-trans actor to play it and tell this story.
All right, I get what y'all saying.
I don't think they win as
And for the fans and viewership, again, this is just for conversational purposes, but obviously, I get what y'all saying now.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I see how that could be offensive. So no, now I take it back.
Exactly.
I
There we
take,
go.
I take it back.
Wait.
I do take it back.
How could it be
but
offensive?
Not saying you
Only-
saying this,
Yeah.
but it is mind blowing that you have a higher of people that are like, oh, let's do a trans story, but let's not make it too trans.
There we go.
Yeah, like, see, well, that.
We're
makes-
talking
it's a slap in the
we're
face.
talking money. Hello, we're
but
talking money.
that's my
Yeah,
thing.
but I
let's
can
do a
argue.
black story,
but I can
but let's
argue
not
with
have too many
Pose.
black
Pose
people.
has several big trans actors
Right,
and actresses,
they do.
and it is still performing extremely well.
Yeah, but
Where?
So let's say a woman wants to become a man or wants to be a man. She's trans, right? Mm-hmm. Never gets the sex change. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same thing as Scarlett,
technically.
right?
So what he's saying is, let's say if the person is, I guess, in the midst of entertaining transitioning, but has not transitioned
It's
yet.
about
but
how they identify.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, what he's saying is, regardless of anything, if that sex change does not come and that person lands the role,
But
what's
that's
the difference
the
between?
physical being. You can still be trans and not go through the surgery, but still identify as a
Oh,
You
so
human.
have to
you're
have,
saying-
well-
It's how you identify.
You're saying identification-wise, your
Yeah, there's plenty
orientation
of trans
and how
people that
you
never, absolutely, that
Okay.
never.
You see, but then once we go down that road, where does it stop?
Okay,
Now
first-
somebody can't play a cop if they're not really
Well,
a cop.
that's
Well,
my
like-
hold on.
I'm thinking about actors and actresses. Their job is to recreate a character
Be other things.
or be other things. That's my only.
Somebody
That's
can play
their
a fucking
job.
dinosaur.
Yeah,
It's
like-
fine.
That's what I understand. But,
Hold on. Before, okay, what you were saying though, okay. Also, another thing that people have to understand is that you have to have a certain, I don't want to say condition, but kind of do in order to be considered trans. Just because you dress as a man does not make you trans, and that's what people have to understand. Like drag queens does not mean that they're trans.
Yeah.
Neither is
It's just men
cross-dressing.
that like to dress up like women.
Right.
Trans, you have to have, I think it's gender dysphoria. You have to have gender dysphoria to be trans. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna dress up like a man today, and
So-
I'm gonna be
'Cause there's men
trans.
that
no,
dress up like women and
there's-
then dress back
it's,
up as
it's
men.
not.
So
It's
that
more
makes sense.
complex.
Okay, so
That makes
so
sense. That
so
makes
if we're
sense.
so if we're keeping the same energy, Tyler Perry can't play Medea
But
because they
that's-
could have easily got a fat lady to come up and play fucking Medea.
But it was
Right?
based
He
on
took- he took the job from a fucking hardworking-
But she's a
hardworking black woman.
character
That's a good
based on someone in his family. So he just reenacted what he grew up seeing. So I mean that's a little different. It was more personal.
And hold on. Now thinking about it, didn't Tyler Perry come out and don't kill me if I'm wrong, but didn't Tyler Perry come out and say something like a fan asked him what was Medea based off of? Outside of a combination of women in his life, I think he did say that Medea was in fact a man, and that the family knew that he was a man, but
Just as a woman.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
then
Did he take a job away from a trans?
Well, I don't know.
No,
I want to look that
no.
up.
They
and if
didn't
it's not
say it was
accurate,
trans.
Yeah, we're not saying that it's trans. I'm just saying it was something to that effect.
But
I'll look it. I'm gonna look it up now 'cause I don't
actors,
want to be wrong.
actors have the ability. Thespians have the ability to perform and
I agree.
become someone else.
Yeah, I agree.
That's their job.
I agree.
So why can't Scarlett Johansson play this trans man?
Because it's being the way that white Hollywood works. It's the way that they've boxed us out for so many years. It's like, to me, I feel like when you say that, you're really saying I want to play a black or brown person. I do, or a trans person. I don't think that it was, oh, we should all have the right to play different roles. It doesn't work that way. Black people, we don't have the right to say that. We don't get that right. We can't say that
We
we
can't
want to
play a white person.
A white person. We will never get it. I mean, like literally, we'll never get the role. So it's not fair. It's just, like you said, she's not realizing her privilege. And that's what's disgusting about it, to me.
Yeah,
Didn't the Wayans brothers play white chicks?
They did.
they did.
You guys are so annoying.
I'm just. I'm just. They're actors.
And so did a lot of white actors back in the day. They played black people.
And in Shakespeare's time, all the roles
Hey,
were men.
like I said, if it was an equal playing field,
There you have it.
I would be more
Yep.
okay with her saying it aloud. But she can't say that comment and disregard the privilege that she has.
Right.
She can say, I should, like, as an actor or actress, we should be allowed to play whoever we want to play.
That's what I'm saying.
But also, the people who represent those characters should also be allowed to play that role
I
as
agree.
well.
I agree.
If she worded it like that, I would have been fine with it. Because that's
But-
me understanding that she's saying she understands her privilege. that she is allowed to be whoever, but that she also is saying that I wouldn't mind if a trans person took this role over me because that's their story, and I'm okay with it.
And you're okay with it.
That's all. But when you neglect, this is my thing. I have a problem when people neglect their privilege. Like I tell people all the time.
That was gonna be my
Brandon and I, we have a privilege in a sense because we're light skinned. I'm not gonna act and say, oh no, I don't know. That's ignorant of me to even say that.
Someone broke that down to me, and it made all the sense in the universe.
Yeah, you're less threatening to white people.
A friend of mine by the
And
name
you
of
smile.
Worm was on here.
And he smiles.
He said, yo, when I walk into certain, he drilled it down to just women. He said, yo, women look at you a certain way because your skin glistens a certain way. And I was laughing. I said, what are you talking about? He said, no, just hear me. He said, when I walk in, I'm dark skinned. I have a natural threatening demeanor just because I'm dark skinned. You, because you're light skinned and because you're of a different shade and you're closer to white folks, it's a little bit easier. Hence the whole, if you're dark skinned, you're in the field, and if you're light skinned, you're in the house.
I disagree. Chocolate niggas been winning, man.
Well, in the black
and women love
community,
threats.
In the black
In the
community,
black
chocolate
community,
guys,
yeah.
we talk about
Society.
men.
Yeah, but in
Idris
Women
Elba
love
was just voted the
threatening
sexiest guy.
men.
in the-
Yeah,
We just talking about a regular average at the supermarket. Like, darker skinned men are more threatening, or they come off more threatening to white people.
Hypersexualization
But the
of black
funny-
people has always been around, Nas. Because he
Yeah.
said Idris Elba just won the sexiest man alive. I said, but black men and women for the longest have been looked at as like sexual fetish fantasy.
Yeah.
So for him to win that, I mean, let's keep it a buck. The same way that there's plenty of like white guys that look at Nicki Minaj or whatever in a fantasy way. That does not mean that there isn't a sense of privilege when it comes to colorism and
Yeah.
then also to racism. There is. I think what people have to understand is like, unfortunately, because there's racist people, there are going to be different levels of privilege. But
Yeah.
you yourself have to not be ignorant and realize that you do have a certain level of privilege. But if you use that privilege to help others and to be inclusive, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
When you don't, that's the problem.
So here's my thing.
Has there been like a block on transgender actors and actresses or something?
Trans people have been killed just
Yeah,
for being
they have been?
trans, just
Yeah.
from walking
Yeah,
down the
just-
street. They've
just
been
for being-
killed.
No, I'm talking about as far as acting goes, because we're
But
talking about
even
acting.
that,
No.
Like, have they been discriminated against in Hollywood?
No, gay folks run Hollywood. If you don't know that, gay folks run Hollywood.
So what has stopped
Behind
someone
the
who's
scenes, for
transgender
sure.
from rising to the top?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
But what has stopped someone transgender
There's
from rising
privilege,
to the
though.
top?
Like, for
Still not
example,
excelling in front of the camera as much as I feel like they should.
Huh?
They're not excelling in front of the camera as much as I feel like they should. Like, gays run Hollywood, but I don't feel like they're putting them in roles and lead role positions.
Yeah.
Well, I think only just because, again, homosexuality or whatever the sexuality orientation it still is a thing that's maybe uncomfortable for people, and maybe even for them, a lot of those people are still in the closet. They don't want people to know. So
Yeah, they still keep it.
that's another layer too. It's almost like when you go to like a job interview. That's what I was saying. Like when you go to a job interview, you're depending on the environment will depend on how you're going to dress, how you're going to speak, how you represent yourself. And then there's other circumstances like a strip club or something where it's laid down. You going to chill. You may have a drink.
But what I'm saying, I'm just saying it's a little silly to kill her over playing this role when we can't name a transgender actor or actress that could have taken her place or been
no,
or
But that's
possibly.
the problem in and of itself. Why don't we have enough on camera to where we can name
No,
some?
I can name someone right now.
Laverne?
Who the one from
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black?
100%.
That's Laverne, but that's like
Laverne.
one. I mean, her and Bruce
Post.
Jenner.
Post
like-
has several.
Pose has several. I watched Pose for the first
Also-
time, and I thought I was going to be uncomfortable. I'm being
But what if the
completely-
character's not
watched it by
supposed to be
accident and
black?
I liked it.
No,
I
there's
watched
others.
Came on
Pose,
television.
and I was like, yo, them niggas could act.
Yeah.
Also, another
Like,
thing too
that
is
show is really good.
Keep in mind.
Huh?
mo-
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cinematography, the costumes, like,
all of it phenomenal.
All of it is phenomenal.
But also keep in mind too, Wilson, that now we're seeing a lot more opportunities for people who are in minority groups and on a mainstream level. Before, we had, for example, a lot of black movies, and that's where most black people could take the roles. the black community, we have to accept this. We are not kind all the time to the LGBTQIA community.
We're not.
Yes.
So you weren't able to
That's a
see
fact.
you weren't able to see a lot of trans people because a lot of the opportunities for specifically black minorities was for black movies to the black base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
just the unfortunate part, and that's something that we have to fix within our own community as well. But what I will say is, it's for this. Okay, it's pretty lazy when you say you can't find a talented actor or actress of a certain demographic, right? It's the same way that's saying like, oh, we can't find any talented soccer players, but there's also systematic things that prevent you from finding those people. The same way, like for example, soccer, women's soccer is becoming so expensive that low-income kids cannot play, while the greatest players in the world have come from poor areas.
Yeah.
I'm not saying talented. I'm sure there's talented transgender actors out there, but there's none with the big name. None that are gonna put asses in the seats. When you're making a movie and you're investing money into something, you want to get your money back.
But why not?
Not all the
break them?
time. Nope.
Why not break these? Why not break these actresses and actors? I mean, at some point, all of these actors and actresses, some of the greats have been broken. Someone gave them a shot.
Oh, absolutely.
So I feel like they're not giving them a shot. Like we would see them more if they would start casting them in
but-
roles
I agree.
and putting them. You know?
I agree, but
I agree.
Also, to Naz's point, it's business.
It's business.
If this is my first go at it, I don't know that especially if I have access or the opportunity to work with, let's say like a Scarlett Johansson. Or let's not say Scarlett because we're killing her, I guess. But let's say somebody else. I don't know, Denzel Washington, whoever your big name actor is your go-to. If I have an opportunity to select from the big name versus the regular Joe Smo who happens to be transgender, I think I'm gonna go with Denzel.
But and that goes back to my point that it wasn't that deep. They casted her because it was an easier decision. You knew she was
So-
bankable, and that's why she.
Devil's
so
advocate,
also, so
though.
straight guys can't play gay guys.
Oh,
Gay
they do it
guys
every
can't.
day.
Yeah, that happens all the
Hold on,
time.
gay guys can't play straight guys.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
So we're fine with that. But when it comes to transgenders, it's different.
But they've made us fine with that because they've shown it to us on screen. They don't show us transgenders.
Yeah.
And then-
No. I'm talking about somebody who's not gay playing a gay person.
Oh, I get what
Or
you're
somebody
saying.
who's
So
gay
he's saying-
playing a
yeah,
straight
he's
person.
saying
We're fine with that,
We've already
but-
seen a straight man playing a gay man,
Yeah.
and we're cool with that. But
How come when it comes
I
to
wouldn't say that we're
transgenders, it's
cool.
different?
I don't think everyone's cool with that. It's just that the people who are in control said that
it's a-
that's the case.
yeah, it's a-
And also when it comes to business, I understand the whole put out money to make money, but also if you're a good business person, you will make investments that you know will not have a return on investment short term, but will long term.
100%.
If you're a good business person, you'll do that. And a lot of times, they be throwing out money for big actors and actresses, and the shit tanks.
Yeah.
And then they recoup it in other ways. So that's also another lazy perspective,
Aladdin
as
do
it
well?
is.
Yeah.
So you can
Did
you can
Aladdin
have
do
a
well?
the numbers come out this week for Aladdin.
But-
I'm dying to know how Aladdin does.
Yo, when it
honestly.
tanks with a big name, it's different when it tanks with a no name. Because if it tanks with a no name, it's like that's why it tanked. When it tanks with a big name, it's just like
The directing, the
But
writing.
But then there's ways that you can see, but that's the problem. Everyone thinks that you have to have the big name as the main actor or actress.
Yeah,
No,
no.
you can add them into the mix. I mean, let's think about it. For example, Black Panther. Some of the leading people or some of the reoccurring people,
Very
they
true.
weren't big names at the
That's a
time,
good
but they
example.
had big actors like Angela Bassett, and they had them kind
That
of
is
supporting.
that is a great example.
That's a great point.
That's a great example.
Who, Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah.
He's a big
Black,
name.
no,
That's-
Black Panther took
Black-
them to a
I didn't
whole
know
new
the
level.
average actor.
Listen,
I didn't know most of the
Well,
actors in
think
Black
about
Panther.
it.
Not everyone.
They had
a
May
movie
Shown from
aficionado.
He did,
Walking
he-
Dead.
Yeah, he is.
They had Forrest Whitaker.
They had
That,
Homeboy
like-
from Get Out.
Yeah,
had Lupita.
they're-
Lupita, right?
Lupita.
Lupita.
He did.
Wasn't,
he was
um,
James Brown.
Who was
he
James
was
Brown?
What's his name?
Chadwick.
Yeah, he was James
He
Brown.
played Jackie Robinson. That's what broke him. He's been acting for years. He started with The Young and the Restless. So he.
But did everyone know
No, I
who he
don't know.
was?
No one
For
knows.
Jackie, when
No,
he did
but
when he
not
played
everyone-
Jackie Robinson.
They didn't find out
didn't see it
until
either.
Jackie Robinson, and me too. I didn't see it. I knew about him because of that role, but I didn't know all of that.
And he did his thing on James Brown.
James
Yeah,
Brown, he
but
did a
not.
really,
But
really
we
good
also
job,
have to.
James Brown.
We also have to
And
keep
it's-
in mind that not everyone is a big film person
Yeah.
like
That's
you
true.
or
Well, these
us.
niggas need to get up on it. Well,
No, but that's why. No, but why do you think they got Angela Bassett and some of these people to be supporting roles? It's to bring more attention.
Because-
It's strategic.
Yeah, it's definitely
and
strategic.
the
Why do you
trend.
think they did Will Smith for the Genie's part?
It's the same
It's
way.
the same
It's the
thing.
same way as an artist when you go get a big feature. That was the thing. Coming up when you knew you had a smash record. Oh, I gotta go to somebody.
I respect them making Lion King all black, though. I do respect them.
Well, the family's black. Everybody else around is kind of
on the low. If I'm being honest, I don't know.
Everybody
I
else.
don't know how I feel about it. I love it because it's for our people and it's done. I'm just starting to look at Disney a little sketchy.
Just now?
I know, just now starting.
Yeah,
Wilson's been saying that for a couple of
I've been
weeks.
saying this.
I know, but what I'm saying is now. Like right this very
Why
second.
now?
Why?
That's my point. Why now? Why now are you doing this?
Why not you doing what?
you
No,
You
it's
don't
your
answer
point.
that?
Like,
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm mad confused.
My,
I know, yeah, nigga hit us.
my point is, why now are they so vested in black people? Y'all not letting me give us my point.
Okay.
What about
Because we spend more money on other people than we do on our own community. That's why
And
everyone's
they saw what we did with
invested.
Black
That's-
Panther, too.
Didn't
They
it-
saw how we came out and
That's why
record
everyone's
numbers. I think
investing
people
us.
trying to get behind
Didn't they do
that.
Princess and the
That's what
Frog?
I think.
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden now Black
Didn't they do
Panther
Princess
does
and the
all of
Frog?
these amazing
Yeah.
numbers, and now y'all want to be so
Because now
vested
they're like,
in
oh my
black
God,
people?
black people are making money like this. Like, let's get some black people in here.
What are
And
you
that's
trying
my
to say?
point.
Yeah.
That's my
Disney
point.
did Princess and the Frog, no?
That was
Yeah.
so long ago.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm gonna look it up now. I believe so.
Right.
But
They
what's
did
it-
give us.
Well, I mean, they
give us
did.
Doc McStuffins though.
Yeah, they had Brandy as a princess.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You are right. You are right.
And
You
the
are right.
trans,
You are
the
right.
trans community was represented back in the 80s. You ever see The Crying Game starring Forrest Whitaker?
Forrest Whitaker. Ooh.
Never seen The Crying Game, right? Forrest Whitaker was dating a trans woman.
Was it an actual trend?
Oh wait, but
No,
hold
it was
on,
a, it was a
hold
man.
on.
It was the
Man.
dude. It was the
Yeah.
dude who played in
Was it-
Stargate.
Was it
who was
like
the Pharaoh?
So?
But was it like a prostitute?
No, it was
Was
his.
it regular? Because typically when they did roles for trans people, they would have them in the role of a prostitute.
No, that was Forrest Whitaker's
know
girl. Because the detective was like,
You didn't know?
"What about your woman?" He's like, "I don't think you're gonna like her. She's not what you like."
It's kind of the same way
I
where
thought it was
before
only
love-
for gay people. I didn't know if it was for transgender. I knew
What?
that about
Well,
gay folks.
if you know about the
like
his-
a lot of gay folks I know that are actors and actresses, they've said that
The Crying Game?
No, just coming up
Oh.
in the industry, they were only typecast to only be like either you were sick, you had AIDS,
That's terrible.
or you
Were on the corner.
Well, you were a drug dealer.
But there also is historical context to that too, because actually, like back in the day, there, at one point, a good amount of gay individuals or trans individuals were forced to have to work the corner because they didn't have the rights to, like, people could fire them or not hire them just because they are trans.
yeah.
So
that's
there
what
is
I-
historical context to it, but then also it's like if you're continuously typecasting the same way they continuously typecast black people as drug dealers or
Yeah,
also
yeah.
prostitutes
Or just
or
loud,
strippers.
loud, gay
loud,
black
or-
men.
Yeah. But that's why I say there's really a thin line between racism and discrimination, sexual discrimination. There's a thin line. There's a thin line. You're hating someone for someone's color. You're hating someone for their sexual orientation. Where's the
Yeah.
lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
That's America.
Oh no,
Might be around the world.
I can't take.
When,
Yeah.
when you
Around
when
the
you
world.
really think about it, like
Yeah.
really think about it.
Because, like, what did this person do to you? Nothing? Just who they love? That's weird.
Yeah.
Like,
It's weird.
Why are you threatened
It's
by that?
weird. Why are you so bothered by
It's
it?
so annoying.
Yeah, that's
Drives me
wild.
crazy.
You care so much about what they're doing behind closed doors. That's weird in
Yeah,
itself.
Think about that to the point that
it's
you're
weird.
marching and you're angry because someone that you don't know
Listen,
loves
man.
someone else. That's weird.
The more and more
Brandon,
I get older, the
yeah.
more and more I look at things like, yo, y'all just be weird. Like y'all caught up on that because I'm darker.
Right.
Like y'all got y'all priorities fucked up. Go ahead, what happened?
Nah, I was just gonna. You ever get hit on by a gay guy?
Yeah, I have. It
you
happens
feel?
all the time. It happens. See, that's the thing. I could talk about this. I'm cool.
Yeah, no.
Like I'm comfortable.
No, I've been hit on by gay dudes before.
And that's what I'm saying, like-
you take it in stride.
Yeah,
but
like-
you gotta admit it's a little bit like
You're on the
Well,
defense.
it's a little weird. You feel
I'm keeping it
Well, now
all
you guys
the way.
know how
you feel a
women
little
feel.
emasculated
Men
a little
hit on
bit.
us, and we're like,
you
no.
feel a little emasculated
If
for
I'm
like a
keeping-
second. Like
if I'm-
whoa.
if
Yo,
I'm
I got
keeping
caught. I
it
got caught
above.
coming out the shower in college. I was putting on my towel, and the guy's name at the time, like, we never said it to his face, but it was Big Happy, and then his name.
Fam, I don't ever listen. All I'm saying is I don't ever want to be confronted by a nigga named Big Happy coming out the.
All right.
Well, no,
So
we're not.
You and Big Happy was in the shower.
No, it's not happy.
Oh, wait.
Big. What is happy? What's the?
Oh, that's fucked up. Now you got.
Well,
laughing.
he was like 6'3", and he was like, yo.
Set us up.
He goes, yo,
I'm missing the
Nas.
whole
What he's saying is, you know how
What's okay?
what's
happy. What's another way to say?
I don't wanna
happy
say it 'cause,
that
yeah, they gonna
you don't
kill
wanna
me.
Make it,
Listen,
you just wanna
I'll
get
say it.
I wanna know what happened in the shower.
To the fans, ignorant people often say that gay people are happy, hence the rainbow. That's what he's saying. They call
Happy.
them big
Well,
happy.
well,
But
gay-
rather than
His
call-
name was Big Gay,
Gay means happy
and
by
then his
definition.
name.
Yeah, gay means happy by definition. But
Yeah.
again, they're calling him big gay or big.
Big gay.
No,
Big
no,
gay.
no, it was Big
Excuse
Gay. It
me,
wasn't
whatever
that.
it was. But
Wasn't that word?
That's what they're saying. But even with that, again, back to your point.
Oh no, I want to know what happened in the shower with him and Big Happy.
So, I don't care. I'll tell you. It was the week of the fashion show.
Nigga now said, "Okay, I'll tell you." I'm mad.
And no, and the rapper Fabulous was coming to our school.
This shit is getting romantic.
Hold on, real quick.
This shit is sounding real romantic.
Yeah, Fab.
Where is this
Big Happy.
going?
I don't know what
Where
that
Big
is
Happy?
going.
His name is
Concert?
Are you
I
killing me
don't know what-
because the rapper's name is Fabulous?
Listen, bro. And second of all, you said
killing me.
And then you said, and then there was a rapper by the name of Fabulous. Like, I know Fabulous.
I know.
You're the
I'm
only
like,
nigga
tell
that's
me more.
old. Like, yeah, like,
This shit sound like a sex novel. So you removed
because
your
of,
towel.
because of the dude's size, he was security.
He's in the shower.
And you know, in college it's
He did
communal
security, so
showers,
he's strong.
it's multiple showers. So I'm coming out the shower,
He got
and
you.
he's coming out the stall, and he sees me at the corner of his eye because he doubles back.
Oh.
He was like, "Yo, Nas, you want to go see Fab?" I was like, "Yeah, not really, bro. Like, I'm not really anybody who knows me. I'm not in the crowds like that." So I was like, "I'm good. I'm trying to fix my towel." And he keeps inching like closer.
You felt threatened.
Oh yeah, because he's big. He was bigger than me.
Yeah.
It's also just a violation of personal space.
Yeah.
That's just weird, no matter if it's
that's
a
weird.
man doing it to a
That's
woman, a
weird.
woman
And
to a
he stood there like as I'm like, I couldn't move. I couldn't get through the door. And I was like, damn, this is what women feel like. Like,
So how'd you escape?
I had to keep it like the dog. I'm good.
he cried. He
Draws.
cried.
I know.
He cried. He cried. He cried.
Big Happy couldn't tell though.
Was it like
he's in the shower.
next Friday? Cat Williams.
Yeah. I could look in his face. He cried.
Nah,
Please, I don't want to hear this.
now you just gotta, you gotta ease out. Like, yo, fam,
Yeah.
I'm going back to my room, babe. Like, I'm good on them tickets, man.
I've been on a few times. I think the first time, I think you
That
know
might
what
have been a
happens?
good date.
I think when you're younger, it goes back to women's things of having the wall up. You build up this moment in your head of, oh my God, this gay person is going to touch me or do something just because you're ignorant and you don't know. And then when it happens,
No,
and
it wasn't like he's gonna touch me. It's more
No.
like, dog, I'm
Nah,
not
there's
interested.
there's just
not true.
you're not used to being in that position.
And that's what I'm saying. I think just
So,
in general, you're
yeah.
not used to it. So I think
Yeah.
when it first happens,
Shit gives you a weird feeling
It
because
gives
it's
you
like,
a weird
whoa.
feeling.
Yeah.
You don't know.
And
That's
it's
You start checking yourself,
and
your
it's
pockets,
something
like,
that
what did I
you
do?
like. So it
Yeah.
should when it's something new
Yeah.
you never expect, kind of catches you off guard. I think what drives me crazy is that when men, especially like I feel black men, feel like every gay guy is gonna want to. It's like relax, yo.
disgusting. That's
Like first of all, gay men
That's
have a type
disgusting.
too, son. You
Yeah.
may not be
Yeah.
his type. Like relax.
Yeah. I don't know. This cashier.
I know a gay dude that does not like other gay dudes.
I don't know. He asked me. He was like, "So you from around here?" I was like, "Nah, dog." Like, I started lying immediately. Everything he asked me, I was answering opposite. Like,
Yeah. I have a friend and he's gay and he is very big on like, I don't like the two gay people. Like I didn't even know that
I met
was a
somebody
thing.
like that before.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I've heard gays
I
say
never
that.
knew that.
Oh, yeah.
My gay
Some
friends
say
have said
that.
that.
I have
yeah.
never. And I have met gay friends, but I never knew that was a thing where even if the person is gay, they don't like the so super flamboyant gay person.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And also, not to be too TMI,
What do you
but
think
there's
makes that
also
happen,
like, I mean,
I don't know.
we're always TMI, but also like there's in terms of what you were saying, in terms of like don't liking them too femme or anything like that. There's also like not liking them too bottom.
Yeah.
Or like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
it's a lot.
preference.
It's different preferences.
It's
It's
preference,
preference,
but
yeah.
I think the conversation is necessary, right? I think at some
Especially in
point,
our community.
Yeah, like at some point, I feel like our community as a whole is getting stronger. And when I say community, because last time I said that y'all tried to kill me and misconstrued what I was saying, I'm simply just saying within the urban community, that could be white, black, Chinese, wherever. In our community, I think right now we have the power to change things or to change a narrative, right? Change the ignorant thinking of gay, straight, black, whatever it is, whatever your hang up is. I think we have the power to doing it. And by doing that, to your point, if we could just do it for a minute, I think we change it.
I would have said maybe like down the line, like maybe as maybe some of the older, closed-minded, super Christians kind of start to die off. But when I saw what they did with Lil Nas X, it's just like, why? Like I felt so bad for him. Like the way and this is young Black people, this is young teens, and all over
explain
Twitter.
What did they do?
The way that the jokes that they kept making, like the way they kept speaking to him in my mind, a derogatory.
When he came out as
way.
gay?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's like at
So
some
hold on,
point.
let me give it brief, and then you'll finish. So for the fans that know, because we get killed on him, we don't provide context.
Okay.
So for those that don't know, and again, this wasn't a topic, but fast forwarding, Lil Nas X, y'all already know, he's wilding out here with a great record. He's done well, but he's got backlash from
Backlash.
backlash. Sorry.
I'm about to say, does he have menopause? Yeah,
This nigga's in the DC universe.
Hey, listen, I'm on like 2 hours of sleep. We done
Lil Nas
recorded
X is
that
reverse
shit.
flash.
I'm fading. I don't care what y'all say.
Niggas reverse flash.
And I'm so real. I'm keeping it in there. I'm letting the errors live.
How about that?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What do you
living
think,
my
Danny
scars.
DeVito?
Y'all say this about gay dudes though. Shout out to them, man. Yo, they stay throwing alley oops, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna get you some bitches.
Oh,
Straight up.
listen,
Throw
gay
mad
guys,
alley oops.
gay guys are some of the best wingmen.
How about just this women?
Yo.
They're some of the best wingmen.
How about just women?
Yeah, we could just go women.
We should go women.
And you can go to Atlanta. I always hear all those dudes is gay down there.
Oh, God.
You're gonna get mad women. If you straight, that's why I hear.
Oh,
Y'all never heard that?
And that's a 2 cents from Wilson, everybody.
Y'all never heard? Nobody ever said that to you.
And on next week's episode,
Hold on, none of your boys ever, hold on. Brandon, none of your boys ever said that to you?
Joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
All right, that's the thing.
I'm joking.
That's a thing.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing of getting the bitches.
The women out in Atlanta, they're like zombies.
No.
They just attack you.
I want to thank
Once
y'all
you
for
get down
tuning in. Check out Grassroots Podcast on Instagram, Twitter,
Compare
Facebook,
women to zombies.
YouTube. Yeah,
I didn't do that.
you just said it.
I did that, but not in the way how he said it. He said that shit gonna get me beef on the internet.
Yo, he
No, I
said
know.
that. He was like, bitches is zombies.
Yeah.
Bitches is zombies,
First off,
bitch.
pause. You're gonna get beef from the internet. That's number one. Number two, you're good. You're definitely you're gonna catch flack for 2 episodes. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you guys think about all the topics. Definitely want to thank you for coming on and
having
sharing
me.
your thoughts with us. I think we had a great time. Be sure to subscribe. Grassroots Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Be sure to hit the notification button to be notified. And that said, I'm Brandon Killabh BH.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm regular Nas.
I'm Wilson.
Aishia Deal.
Oh, Aisha, you can't go out like that, Aisha. Like you got
Well, at Aishia Deal on Instagram and Twitter.
Holla.
I thought it was professional.
No, you met.
I know. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do here? Okay, at Aishia Deal. I mean, that's my Instagram at Aishia Deal. My
There
podcast
you
is Shit
go.
Women Think About on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play.
And hold on, real quick before we end.
Wait.
What do women think about?
Think about what?
That's a whole different topic. I mean, that's very general.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I think we already gave you a taste on today's episode.
Well, yeah. That was.
We don't
really,
like
it was
when men
really
use
informative.
business to try and sleep with us.
Oh yeah, my mom taught me.
That's
that.
what we think about.
My mom taught me that.
If we
don't
want
like
to
it.
sleep with you, we'll let you know we want to sleep with you.
ASAP.
What do you
My mom ain't never
hold on,
talked to me about
what do
that.
you think about men that shave their armpits?
I like men that that manscape.
Fuck.
I
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
hairless body.
yeah.
I'm cutting these shits. I'm cutting them down. No, I'm cutting them down. I'm cutting them down.
We tried to
Yo.
give you game.
Yo, I didn't know.
Go flourish.
Yo, my joints is nice though.
Go flourish, kid.
Yo, my joints is nice though. My
No,
joints ain't crazy.
You wanted the forest down there.
Get
Why?
rid of it and be
I thought
great.
that was weird.
Get rid of
I manscaped down here.
You in that stink.
I thought the armpits was too much
You
though.
in that funky dick.
Hold on, time out. Bro, my dick, fresh. My armpits, fresh. But I'm going to cut the hair because I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men were doing
Start there
that.
and work your way down.
Yeah, keep getting shape ups.
He's
Yo,
gonna make a
we
triangle
out.
and
Thank you
shit.
guys for joining us.
Make an octagon style.
Peace.
You come across men that shave their armpits?
Grassroots.